Hi, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to do a little Q&A because I got a question from one of my subscribers about how to transition over from pencil and paper to a computer program. And in their case, it's a scripty program, which is what I use. But I'm going to talk to you about how to transition over to any computer program because really the way I transitioned over was kind of fast and furious, and I'm going to share that with you in a second. But I know if I were to do it differently, I would do it this way. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so Caress of Zach 9221 writes, Scripty Monica, I seek your undying wisdom. Thank you for that. I feel like I should be behind a curtain or something. I secured my first feature script supervising job. Yay! I have scripted some small short films and paid gigs, swells of endless student films. However, this one being big, I stepped my game up to a new laptop to invest in my future and got Scripty. Good choice. The program is daunting, trying to truly understand workflow for being an efficient script supervisor. Would you recommend anything regarding if I should try and use that even if I feel uneasy? To clarify, I can do my job and shot log on my laptop with my table and script pulled up and follow. I think what they mean is we're doing the log and the script pulled up and following on the scripty. I think that's what they're referring to. However, would that seem improper or possibly amateurish for a feature film set? I feel I am effective with what I do, uh, with what I would do with pen and paper just digitally, but also understand this is a different ball game. If I should try and cram for scripty, any tips to getting the hang of it or techniques to learn such an advanced program coming from traditional pen and paper? Sorry for the long-winded questions. I greatly appreciate you as your videos are gospel. Thank you in advance. Well, thank you for that. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to share with you how I did my transition over. Okay, so first of all, I started out with pencil and paper, like just about everybody would, and even if you are just starting out now, I know everybody's on computers, but I urge everybody start with pencil and paper and then transition into a program because you have to get the idea of script supervising in your head first, and by doing it with pencil and paper it'll be a lot easier than having to figure out a program. So, and also if something happens to your program, you will always have pencil and paper to go back on, and you have to know how to maneuver that first, so that you can use that as a backup if something happens to your computer or your iPad, which has happened to me before. So anyway, so I started with pencil and paper, and then I needed to transition into a program because I knew everybody was going to be transitioning into a program. So I did my research, and I found that Scripty was kind of a one and done program. It's a pretty amazing program because it has everything in one. I know some of the other programs have, it's like a combination of a couple of different programs that you use together. And those work very well as well. For me, what works for me is I wanted one program that did everything, and that's what the Scripty program did for me. So, and it's it's an amazing program. I'll put a link below. I'm not getting any kickbacks from it or anything, but it's just what I use. All right, and so anyway, I decided to do Scripty, but yes, it is daunting, like this person was saying, that it's very intimidating. So what I started doing was I started just doing my breakdowns on it. All right, just did my breakdowns, and for 2 years I did nothing but breakdowns, and because they do beautiful breakdowns, and then when I was on the set, I would use pencil and paper. Well, that's what I did for 2 years having this program. And because I was just so intimidated to use it on the set. And then finally, one day, I got a call for a job for second unit on a show. And it was a big show. And I said, and the script supervisor was using Scripty, fully using it. And I said, well, I only use it for the breakdowns. I use pencil and paper. Oh, no, no, you have to use the program. It's great. It's easy. It's no problem. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I didn't want to lose a job. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. So I went on set, and she kind of walked me through a couple of things. Basically, what I walk you through from some of my videos for you, basically the same thing. But she kind of showed me a couple of things, very minor, but she showed me, how to work it. And I thought, okay, fine. Well, here I go to set, and I have my book, because I'm not going to let go of my book, because that's my security. And I have my computer. So I have both. And what I was doing was, I'd do the scene, and I would write my notes on my script, and then I'd turn to my computer and use that as a backup, and do it in the computer. And that's how I did it for like 2 days. I found that after 2 days of doing this, the transition was so seamless. I thought, you know what? I ditched the script, and I just worked strictly with the program. Now, you can do this with any other program that you're working with as well. But again, I was just kind of thrown in there, and it's like, okay, well, it's either sink or swim, and it's like anything. And then after that second day, I thought to myself, I was kicking myself, thinking, was I so worried? It really is very easy. I mean, yes, there was a little bit of a learning curve for that week, but once you got the hang of it, then it was just so easy. And especially at the end of the day, I mean, when you're doing pencil and paper, at the end of the day, you have to go to the production office, you have to copy your notes, and you have to send them off to the editor. Here, I would just push a button, and they would go off to the editor. And I thought, my God, this is so easy. So that's how I transitioned over. Now, let me tell you, if I were to do it again, how I would do it. So if I were to do it again, first of all, I would get a script that I had worked on previously with all my notes and all my information on there. And then I would get my computer program, and then I would just recreate that entire script or project in my Scripty program, or whatever program you're using, and then compare the notes. Okay, so for example, say you've got day one, and you go exactly for the first day, the first setup, first everything, and then go to the Scripty program, and then just put in there what you would have put in normally on that first day, including your lines, your notes, your takes, everything. And then look at the preview. I know Scripty has a preview that basically you can click on it, and you can see whether if the information is there or not, and say, okay, well, I'm missing this information. I have it on my paper notes, but it's not here. So how do I get that on there? So this is where you're going to figure out, okay, I want to make sure I recreated everything I did here onto my program. So once you do that, and you finish that day, set, or do it all the way up to lunch, and then preview your lunch report, and see what that would look like, and then actually send it to yourself and see what people are going to get, as opposed to what they got on your paper notes. Then what you can do is continue, then come back, do your first shot, and again, Scripty has as soon as you click on the first shot, it sends off an email to whoever, when the first shot was. Make sure that everything is correct in there, and then finish your day, do your wrap report, look at your preview, and see what your log is going to look like, what your script notes are going to look like, and then compare it to what your first day was, and see how that, and then send it off to yourself again. and see what everybody is getting. Are they getting the same notes that you got on your paper notes? And if you say, yeah, okay, yeah, they did. So do that. Do a whole project, a whole, short film or whatever you worked on, doing it that way, and then comparing your scripting notes or your computer notes to your paper notes. All right. And make sure that whatever they're getting on your paper notes is the same thing they're going to be getting on in the computer notes. All right. So then once you get that down and you're comfortable with that, then you're going to start using it on set. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your paper notes just like I did, all right? But this is gonna be a smoother transition for you because you will have already done it at home, and you know the transition, you know all of that, you know how to go back and forth and do the takes and everything else. So it's going to be an easier transition. So once you're on set, you're going to have your computer note or your paper notes on your lap, and your computer notes are up here. You're going to do your line script and then come up here and do your script notes, and then look at the preview. Make sure it looks correct, and how it would normally look, and then go back down on your notes and see if it does, if it looks the same. Now, again, once you've done that homework of doing it at home on a previous project, transitioning over is going to be much easier. The only reason you're really having that paper or your notebook there, the paper and pencil notebook, it's for security, really. I mean, because to be real honest, after I was doing it that day, I thought, oh well, I don't really need this, but I'll do it anyway because I started to just really look at just the notes on the computer, and the paper notes became secondary after the first day. And after so then after the second day, I continued doing it like that, and I would write it, and then I would fold it up, and I would put it on the side of my chair, and I'd continue with my notes. And then again, it's very important, look at your preview your notes, whether it's Scripty or whatever program you're working on. Preview them before you send them out to make sure that they're correct. All right. And then then you're off and running, because that's going to be your transition. So by doing your homework at home on a previous project, it's going to set you up for a smoother and faster transition onto your computer. All right. Okay, my friend. So all I have to tell you is you've got this. All right. I know you do. You may not think you do, but you do. All right. Once you've done your homework and you're prepped, you're going to get out there, and it may be a little shaky at the beginning, but give it a couple of days, 1-2 days, and you have it. All right. So all I got to say is, don't worry about it. You're going to make this transition, and it's going to be smooth, and it's going to be easy, and you're going to get better every single day. Just bite the bullet and make that transition. All right. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so that you can leave me a comment. I don't think you can leave a comment unless you've subscribed. So do that. Click the little bell so you can let you know when I do have another video coming up. All right, and that's it. So we'll see you on the next one.